Hi there. Happy belated Easter. It was not bad weather-wise. It's pretty nice. Kind of the middle of April, so middle of the end of April. Not bad weather. Which kind of leads me to what I wanted to talk about today is the Passion of the Christ. Right, where you got Palm Sunday, and then he comes in on the donkey and has his final confrontation with a group of people that were just looking to have an opportunity. So, if we look back at it, it's not, I mean, technically the Romans crucified him, but by all the accounts, they didn't want to. And the only reason they did was because it was forced upon them by the Pharisees and the Sadducees that they wanted him dead. So that kind of got me thinking this week. You know, when Christ came back, even though his people, his ethnicity, was under Roman rule, and the religious leaders of the time was expecting the Christ to come to free them from Roman rule. But what he came for was to correct the church on how they weren't keeping his Father's word. His bone to pick was with the church leaders of the day. And it pissed them off. It pissed them off so much, they killed him. You know, and then they took him before Pilate, and Pilate's like, I find nothing wrong with this guy. You know, and he says, you know, when they tried to pin him as trying to overthrow the Roman government, he was like, nope, don't want to do that. My kingdom's in heaven. So Pilate was like, so you don't want to overthrow us? I'm paraphrasing, right? And they're like, no, our kingdom's in heaven. You know, whenever they brought it up, Jesus always said, you know, give Caesar his due. You know, back then, if some Roman soldiers came up, they could have the Hebrews carry their stuff for like a mile or something, and you know, and he was like, carry it two instead of one. You know, and all of his disciples were like, but why? They're suppressing us. You know, they couldn't see what he was talking about. And that is the first thing I want you to do is follow my word. Follow my Father's word. You know, follow the commandments. And then listen to what I'm teaching you. And then, you know, maybe we can move on to what the Romans are doing, but he didn't have any bones to pick with them. And Pilate knew that, and that's why I wash my hands of this. You know, I'll let you guys choose, Barabbas or Jesus. Which one do you want to kill? You know, and the Pharisees and Sadducees, they're agitating the crowd. You know, and the crowd's blindly going on. You know, the same people that was cheering him on when he came in on Palm Sunday. It can't help but make me reflect on today's world. I am 100% satisfied, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that if he came back tomorrow, he'd get the same reception from today's churches. telling you. Because his word is so corrupted now. You know, if you think about it, if God's words is eternal and his lessons are eternal, which means timeless, right? They mean the same back then as they do today. Why is today's church accepting sin? Openly accepting it. To be more inclusive? And they twist Jesus' words around. You know, I say, Jesus is love, Jesus is love, Jesus is love. Yes, love the person. Hate the sin. Hate the sin. It's like the story of the woman that they went and stoned, the prostitute. They took her in front of him and said, hey, under Moses' law, we should stone her. So what did Jesus do? Okay. Here. The one of you can throw the first stone, the one who never sinned. Ye who's never sinned, throw the first one. All right, so he saved her life because right, you're human. You sin. And being a Christian is understanding that and then working to be more perfect. But knowing since we're human, we'll never get there. But it doesn't mean you stop trying. But get back to my point. What did he say to the woman afterwards? Did he say, here's $20, I'll see you Tuesday? No. The most important part of that lesson was he turned to her and said, now go and sin no more. He didn't say, keep on sinning. I accept your sin. No, he loved her, but he also told her, turn your life around. Stop the sinning. That's not today's church, is it? No, today's church, oh no, love is love. Love is love. You know, I'm expecting them within the next 4 or 5 years. Hey, you want to have sex with a 3-year-old? Love is love. That's how bad they're getting. Right? When you accept sin in church, just because you want your numbers to grow, that means you are taking a big old crap on the Word of God. Yes, we are supposed to love everybody. But that doesn't mean we accept their sin. We want them to grow past it. Stop the sin. Turn your life around. Try to be more perfect. Improve every day. Just improve a little bit every day. That's what he's asking. He's not asking you to be perfect. He wants you to be perfect. But he also knows we're born with that original sin, and it takes a lifetime to improve our souls and understand and grow past those bad decisions that we made in our youth. Nowhere did he say, hey, you know, we need to accept everybody, so yeah, we'll take everybody. Yeah, we'll take the thief. Yeah, keep on stealing. Yeah, we'll take the murderer. Yeah, keep on murdering. We'll take the fornicators. The sexual deviants. Keep on doing it. No. Well, we even have those that are supposedly teaching the word, being the pastor, the ones that practice sexual deviance according to the Bible. And then they have the audacity to turn around and say, we're wrong. How can you preach something that totally, very clearly states no? So I said all that to get back to when I said that you even have pastors and stuff that are not following the Word of God. That's why I believe if he came back tomorrow, they would be the ones crying to crucify him again. Because it's not about the Word; it's about the corruption of the Word they're doing. They are knowingly are corrupting the Word to try to water down Christianity, so there's nothing left of his kingdom here on earth. So my Easter message is to really look at what the Word of God says, not mainstream news version of the Word of God, the actual Word. And it's not rocket science, people. Okay, his words to us are not rocket science. It's whether we're going to choose his will be done or your will be done. Who do you think's will is better for us? Our own selfish version, or the version that's not easy to follow, but everything in life that is worthwhile is not easy. We should know that. It's always the tougher path is the right path. Easy always leads us to the wrong path. The temptation to being deceived, always packaged up to make it as if. That's my Easter message.